somewhere at 11. Yeah,
Where are you going?
eat a crepe with a friend.
Did you say a crepe?
Yeah,
Uh, that sounds nice. It's like a
sounds.
cafe thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So that's a
What is a
thing.
crepe again?
It's a flat pancake.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Cool.
flat one, a flat large one.
Okay, okay.
Usually spread it with, I don't know, Nutella or something nice, and you fold it on itself.
Hmm. Like a taco.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about a taco. More like a burrito, like a flat bread, a soft flat
Hmm.
bread. But yeah, it should be nice. How was your week, though?
Um, it's been pretty good, honestly. Um, so I finally settled down in the apartment that I'm in right now. And yeah, it's been kind of crazy. My mother, who actually owns the apartment, um, her mother, so my grandma, um, she's not doing super well. And
Hmm.
so my mother, flew up to Washington State to visit her just because we think this might be like pretty
Bad.
much it. Um,
Hmm.
so we figured out about that like maybe 2 days ago.
Hmm.
Um, and basically, she booked a plane ticket really fast and shot up there, um, yesterday. So uh,
Wow.
that's kind of crazy. And um, my sisters, they've been playing Fire Emblem uh, Heroes, or not Heroes, it's Three Hopes. Fire Emblem Three Hopes like crazy because it's a new game. They're really big Fire Emblem
I
junkies.
can't
I'm
believe they
kind of
still
a big
make those.
Fire
Like,
Emblem junkie too. I
I
really
don't, I
enjoy it.
don't know what Nintendo is doing anymore. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, but I don't really like uh, Three Hopes conceptually, but I haven't played it, so you know,
Yeah,
don't at me. But
yeah.
there's that, and all of my computer parts came in because I wanted to build that desktop computer, right?
Yeah.
Well, all the parts finally came in yesterday, and I got started building it last night, and it took way longer than I thought. It took me like 5 hours to get everything
My gosh.
ready to boot. And then I plugged the thing in and turned it on, and it took me to the BIOS settings,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it didn't seem like it was wanting to. Yeah, I'm having some trouble with it basically with installing Windows and getting it to boot properly. So
Oh.
what I have to do, I shut it off because I was just thrilled that it didn't catch on fire and explode and everything. You know, like
Yeah.
everything seemed to be working fine mechanically and stuff. So I'm just gonna try to troubleshoot it and see what happened. But
Yeah.
progress is being made, and
That's
it's
great.
beautiful. Yeah,
Great. Well, I mean, first of all, I'm sorry about your grandmother. I hope her health improves.
yeah,
Uh, I remember doing the BIOS on one of my computer for because the touchpad wasn't working, and I tried everything, and then we were like going to the BIOS, which is like
yeah.
literally like I don't even know like it is underneath the setting. It's like how the computer like the roots of it.
Yeah, the BIOS is weird.
Yeah, it's so rudimentary, and it's like I don't even know what I did. I just looked at the website and click on this and do this and that. I don't even know what I did.
Yeah,
But it's literally like the underground of the computer.
yeah. In theory, with a new PC like the one I built, it shouldn't open to BIOS right away, which is what is kind of weirding me out. Um, I think, gosh, it is so strange. I feel like if I try to describe my tech problems on here, there are going to be about 100 people who know exactly what the issue is and are like, no,
Just plug it to the wall.
yeah, yeah. So I'm very afraid to actually try to go into the details of this thing that I have no idea
Yeah,
why it's
yeah.
having issues. But
Oh gosh. Oh man, I
yeah,
get it.
we'll just leave it at bottom line. Um, I booted it for like 15 minutes and messed around with it and made mediocre progress at figuring out what the problem was. And then I was
Yeah.
like, I'm tired. I'm going to bed because I think it was like 2 in the morning at that point. I was like,
Oh,
yeah, it's time for
yeah.
bed. So,
Oh my god. I've been sleeping good. Just
hmm.
letting you know this melatonin works. I
Mm,
wake up at 9. I am like fresh. I've been seeing the morning and then the
yes.
afternoon and then the evening, and I'm like, oh my god, I have so much time to accomplish things now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way where it's like I'm not taking melatonin, but I have been waking up in the morning,
Yeah,
which again, like back at university, it was just a train wreck, you know.
yeah.
Like it's like every day was rolling the dice to see what time I would wake up. But
Oh
um
man, I remember.
yeah, I'm feeling fairly consistent these days, you know. Like going to bed at 2 last night was an anomaly. Usually I go to bed at around midnight, 9 to midnight, something in that bracket.
Yeah, yeah,
And I wake up at 9 every day or earlier. I was
yeah.
waking up at 6 for like a solid week, but
Wow. Dude, it's already July, and that is insane. 2 days ago, that was the birthday of It's officially 5 years and 2 days since I came here.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Shoot, man.
So it's it's a lot of years now. I definitely think it's a big chunk of my life where like I can definitely say like, yeah, I spent some time in the US.
Yeah, 5 years is not, that's good.
That wasn't a
Um,
holiday.
I think you could have said that at 3, maybe.
uh yes, but like 3 years compared like to 18 years, I was like, no, that's not that significant. But
Hmm.
then I'm like, 5 years. This is like, and I'm 23. I came here when I was
Yeah,
18. I
it's
look
like
at my
1/20th of your lifespan if you live to 100. I think,
yes,
right?
yeah.
My math
It's
is right on that, isn't it?
it's not even the
Yeah,
age, but me even looking at my pictures and seeing like me at 18 and who the person I am now first of all, I'm proud to say that I've exceeded my expectations. That's a good thing.
that is a good thing. It's a
Yes.
very, very good thing.
But also I could not have expected any of it at all.
Yeah.
Like I remember the day I was supposed to board that plane and I was with like all my friends I grew up with. All my best friends were there in my living room with me.
Hmm.
And we were like, yes, we're gonna see you again very soon. Like it seemed to me that it was gonna be just a holiday.
Yeah, like a vacation, you know?
Yes, I
Yeah.
could not envision myself being in the US for like a long time, more than 5 years. I was like, it's gonna be fast. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna party again.
Yeah, it was kind of a total lifestyle turnaround, wasn't it?
It is a total like it is insane. It is insane. It is completely insane that I am actually speaking that language. That I
Yeah. Now you have a podcast with a dumb American.
no like that it's again that it went that well, but that now I'm even envisioning myself staying here.
Hmm.
that was out of the picture before, like completely out.
Yeah.
And now that 5 years later, I look at even my friends in Ivory Coast, things have changed. People have they grew up too. Like
Yeah. Like
it's
they're
like
not. Do you have situations where they're like totally different from what you remember them being? Or like how much are you able to keep in touch with them? Because even when I don't see someone for like a year, sometimes they become like completely different people and it totally throws me off.
I have to say I only know about them through social media mainly.
Ooh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
have like three friends
Hmm.
for sure that I talk to like once a month or something
Hmm.
from Ivory Coast, but like they are in the US. Because again, like keeping up with them is difficult because of time difference.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's already evening there, and I'm just starting my day.
Yeah, so the
That's what
most you
it
can
is.
do is just like send them a message and hope that they see it in 8 hours.
Yes.
Right.
Like it became very if when I came here I was trying my hardest to keep up with them. But it became evident that it was impossible that if I was going to go to college and like again be active during the day, I'm only available like to call really in the evening, but they're sleeping by that time.
Yeah.
So like that's what broke the thing off. But I look at them through social media. They have graduated, most
Hmm.
of them. Again, it took me 5 years, and I'm only going senior in ID. Some
Yeah.
many of them have most of them have graduated. Some of them have started working, and a few of them are married now.
Yeah. I mean, I look at my social circle and it's about the same, where like some of them have graduated or are in college and then a couple are working and then some are married,
Yes,
you know. It's a
yes.
weird split.
It is. It's you look at that and you're like, our friendship can just never be the same. Like that this dude is he has a wife.
Oh yeah.
Like that is it's not like it that you cannot take him away from that task.
Yeah,
Like it's
I have found like I do have a friend who's got a wife. And I found that it's not exactly that he's like not able to be my friend anymore, more just that like things have changed a little bit. He was always kind of hard to get to show up to things. He was very busy, but um I appreciate him because he does find time to like uh arrange meetings or have us meet, and usually it's like, hey, come over to my house and talk to me and my wife, like it's not it's never been like a, I guess, like a huge roadblock, if
yeah,
you will, right?
yeah.
Like,
I guess the main difference I was talking is like again, 5 years ago, I could just show up and announce to his house and be like,
oh,
"Hey, what's up? You
yeah,
wanna play a game?
yeah,
You wanna go out?" And no, I cannot do
yeah,
that today. It
yeah.
is, yeah, and I mean, this week I also touched again one of his friend that is in New Jersey. I don't know if I talked to you about that. Working at Microsoft, you know.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, she finally graduated and she's at this point where she's like, what am I gonna do with my life? Like before it was super obvious, get good grades in studio, move up another year. Now you got the degree and you have a job and you are responsible for yourself essentially. I mean, all my friends in APX that have graduated are also in that stage where like,
Hmm.
oh, I am in real life now. Like
Yeah, like there's no more baby modes.
yeah, this is as real as it gets. Like
Yeah,
college is kind of an illusion. It's like a break room. Like I don't know.
yeah, it's a liminal space to me, you know.
Yeah,
It's a space between spaces. that
Yeah,
didn't exist.
it's like you're on the ramp to be launched into space.
Yeah.
That's, and then they hand you that degree and they greet you, and you're like, oh, so I have to do something out of this.
You know, it's not even that it's a ramp. It's more like high school was the ramp to launch you into space, and then you stopped at the end of the ramp and hopped onto like a little platform on the edge and just hung out for a while, and then you jumped.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean,
so weird.
college is such a like. I mean, compared to high school is trying to get you to understand how this world is working.
Yeah, just like do some critical thinking for
Yeah,
once.
geography, like history, like how this world came to be. Like this is a society you were born into.
Yeah,
And then
it
college
is
is,
kind of a cultural propaganda as well.
yeah, it is. And then you go into college and it's like, how are you gonna help in this society? Like, what will be your role in humanity,
Yeah,
essentially? So you study something to like, again, be ready to take that role, like in whole of society, like every 7 billion people working together, exchanging thing like economy, like I'm gonna be an industrial designer in that economy.
yeah.
And you do that for 4 years and you handed that degree and you just like, that's my role.
Yeah, or like, even though you got the piece of paper that says, "Hey, I'm an industrial design guy," you're not really.
Yeah,
Or
no,
like,
there's still so much to learn.
you're only an industrial design guy when you get the job that says, "Hey, I'm an industrial design guy,"
That is
you
right.
know? And
Yeah,
one thing that kind of bothers me, it bothered me a lot about just the college space that I was in all the time, is that I felt like I was constantly surrounded by teachers who were really pressing me to nail uh, kind of like my dream ID job right out the gate, and also students that were basically planning to nail their dream ID job right out the gate. And I don't think that has to be how it works exactly. I think
no,
that like what you get from doing your 4 years of college is a skill set, not a title, you know. Uh,
yeah,
you just have a bunch of creative skills now that happen to correspond with being an ID guy largely. But like I think we talked about this where it's like the things you learn from ID can be applied to graphic design or
UI
just
UX.
simply 3D modeling. Yeah, UI UX. Like you can go 1,000 different directions with the skills they throw at you.
Yeah, is the
So,
truth.
I think me, when I end up coming out of college, I'm going into the job field with the idea of I just want a job that I kind of like and that pays the bills and makes me happy. And that's
Yeah.
all. And it doesn't have to be a particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
just, again, it just has to like not kill me.
Yeah, that kill you is very important. I
Yeah,
agree.
and again, I find myself getting all flustered and upset when I'm surrounded by people who think they're gonna like, I don't know, go work at Apple or something all the time, or like do people. This is not slandering you,
Yeah.
but the real go-getter entrepreneurial spirits sometimes
Yeah.
stress me out really bad.
I
Like
can see that.
yeah, like
I mean,
Pedro would stress me out a little bit, where it's like you gotta have it all figured out, and you gotta go in and go hard
it
and
stresses me
get your
out too.
startup
It
fund.
challenges me also, which is
Yeah, and it's like, dude, I just want to live, okay? Like, I
no.
don't need anything crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want anything crazy. My number one goal that I have maintained since like, I don't know, I was like 10 years old has been mental peace of mind. That's like the
Yeah.
only thing I ever want in life is just to not have a lot of drama going up here in my head, you know?
You will be so great in a European country. I'm telling
Yeah, probably.
you. No, for real. You'll be so good in Switzerland right now. You'll be
Yes.
like, no, because there's definitely a thing about each culture. Like when I look at Ivory Coast, it's like have fun through life. Like really, the happiness, like the definition of happiness is like being with your family, being with your friend, and having fun, partying.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the theme. Like we love really, we enjoy partying and just being in that state all the time. That's, but it's not. It doesn't fit everybody
Yeah.
because if you are an entrepreneurial spirit in that culture, it's like people will be like, "What are you doing? Like, just have fun. Like, here's a drink. Like, what? Why are you trying to change the world? Right?"
Yeah.
Then you come to America, and here it's like if you are not into a go-getter, like I'm gonna change the world, I'm gonna change this, I'm gonna change that. People are like, "What are you doing? Like,
Yeah, what?
why
Do
are
you
you?"
want to be poor and miserable all the time?
Yeah, like,
It's like, no, not exactly, but
and like I remember when I went to Spain too. Like, people were chill. People like there is a time in the day where people are having a nap, and literally people like sellers will close their stores
Hmm.
and take a nap. And like in the evening, people are just going out walking. Like there's this vibe. You feel like everybody is like, this is the definition of happiness here.
Yeah.
You go out, you hold hand, and you just walk. You know, you appreciate the scenery in the evening, and it's not about changing the world. And but again, why did America become the number one? It's because again, this
Yeah, it's
go
because
getter.
I hustled or something.
Yeah, there's this go getter mentality. Like if you are resting, you are lazy. If you are taking a break, that means you're lazy. That means which is bad because it doesn't fit everybody, but it fits me.
Yeah, it's just I will be caught dead before I ever mistake uh hustle with happiness because I know myself. They are not the same. They're just not.
Wait, no, come on, I disagree with that.
Not for I don't think they are for me exactly. Like I think that I can be happy when I'm hustling, but in my experience most of the time I'm panicked. Or like
Yeah,
I'm too panicked to be happy.
yeah,
And I'm going to have to master not being panicked in the hustle before I actually be happy there,
yeah.
you know. Um
I mean, to me, it's like again,
yeah.
studying industrial design in recent years has been the source of my greatest joys and my greatest like pitfall, like
Mm,
sadness.
yeah.
And that truly tells me again that I care about it. Like again, I don't know if it's applies to everybody. There are people that take joy in being with people they love, and there are people that take joy in their activity, and like everybody is a mix of that. I was talking to my little brother about it. He's a people's person. He's I remember we went in when Texas froze. This family like they had us because I lost power and he was with me. So
Oh.
they took us as refugees essentially. And he was playing basketball. I mean he came in the house and he immediately got along with everybody. When me, I was like in my place like sitting. And again, at this time I literally got into Stuco, the student console, and I
Yeah.
was working like in the summer just on my computer working and like 3D modeling things.
Yeah.
And then there was another family in front of her house which was a Spanish family, and somehow he goes and talks to them, and they love him so much that they invite him to have dinner with them. They were so
Like random
surprised that a
people?
black man, yes, they were so surprised that a
Okay.
black man was speaking perfect
Oh,
Spanish
well.
to them.
Yeah, okay. I
That
get
they were
that.
like, we gotta have you. And like he went and he made friends with them too. And me, I was on my computer, SolidWork, a
Yeah.
smartphone. And I was like telling him like that, that's a difference again. One difference between you and me, like you you find a lot of joy in this thing, like being with people. When me, I truly do love doing the thing I like.
Yeah.
Despite it, sometimes again, IT has been the source of my greatest pitfall and the cause of many tears.
Yes.
And most of the time, it causes me pain, more pain than joy.
Yeah.
But when the joy comes, I genuinely feel like I'm at my place,
Hmm.
that I'm supposed, and I can't even if it's not industrial design per se. I feel like to me, being having joy in this existence would depend on what I'm doing every day, the activity
Hmm.
I'm doing. And again, a family comes with it, and all these things, and like everything spiritual wise come with it. But my life would not be complete if I was not doing every day something I love, like this activity, like even this podcast. Like I'm gonna edit it, and like it, it's again like I could do other things, right, than
Yeah.
editing the podcast, but I genuinely care.
Yeah.
And like I would, and again, that's the type of person I am. And but not everybody has to be or should be that way. There are many roads to happiness.
Yeah. I think that it's not that I don't have any happiness when I do ID. I think it's more just that sometimes I draw the line at stopping ID and doing something else earlier than other people. Like when I look at ID, I don't think, wow, this is the only thing I want to do like 80% of my life. It's like I look at ID and I'm like, these are useful skill sets and this is a fun thing to do, but to a certain degree, it's really not my actual passion. And really, I kind of utilize it as a means to get to my passion, you know, or the things that I actually really care about, like super deeply. And that doesn't mean I can't care about ID on a deep level. I think I do, actually. Or the things
Hmm.
I construct an ID, I think I do care about. But it's not it's not to the same degree as some other things that uh, I care about. I guess,
Yeah,
does that make sense?
it makes
And
sense.
if I said that to George Chow, he would be like
No, I definitely
shaking me
feel the same.
violently right now.
I do not intend on being an industrial designer. I see industrial design as a tool to accomplish my real dreams, really.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, Lord knows it has taught me a lot of creative skills that I have
yeah,
leveraged.
like the reason I do industrial design is again, I feel like to me, it's a degree of I have an idea and I can manifest it in many ways.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I needed to accomplish my dreams. I guess to get started with that, to be able to
Yeah.
manifest it in some ways or form and be able to be like, to show people and be like, this is what I want to do. You want to be part of this?
Yeah. I feel like if I did any other degree, I would be kicking myself
Oh, no,
because,
I could not.
like, and I would also be a much more limited person if I did any other degree, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if I did computer science, okay, I'd know coding, and that's about it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know public speaking. I wouldn't know all the stuff I know about power tools now. I wouldn't know anything about like clay or concrete casting. I wouldn't know. There's a billion things. The list goes on and on and on for things that I just totally would miss, and I would be so limited, like in terms of what I can actually manifest in some way.
Yeah.
Um, or like
Oh man.
all the basic skills I have that I can build upon whenever I want to. Like
Yes.
I don't know, like I feel like going through ID is really like put me through like creative boot camp where it's
Yeah.
like literally almost any type of creative medium that I can think of, I have some experience in somehow, you know,
Yeah.
or like I know something that's related, you
Oh
know.
my god. I was thinking about what kind of job I wanted to apply to. And like I was talking to that person that's helping me with my resume, and like my task for this week is finding 3 jobs that I want to apply to. And like he was asking me again, like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to make? And I'm like, industrial design. And he's like, what else? And when he said what else, I was like, oh my god, I can do a lot more things. Like I
Yeah.
know how to make videos. I know how to illustrate. I know how to ideate. Like all these, I can do a wood shop. I can work with metal.
Yeah, go work at a graphic design company or like
I
a publications company or anything. It doesn't even have to be like a design firm. It could
Yeah,
just be a firm that needs certain creativity in one particular place, you know.
yes. I was like, oh my god, like I can do many jobs
Yeah.
actually.
You could become a pipe welder, you could do all
Yes,
kinds of stuff.
I know how to weld. That you
Yeah.
ask how many people go outside and ask many people how many of you know how to weld? Not a
Yeah.
lot of people.
Yeah, or like low key, I think pipe welding is actually harder than like super basic welding. You have to know a
I
few
agree,
things, but you're
but you
like
can weld.
the point is you've welded things before, and
Yes,
so learning how to pipe weld is like a short jump. You know,
yes,
like it wouldn't
no,
take that much for you to
yes,
get to get to that point where you're qualified.
yeah. The more I get toward graduation and like senior year, I feel like my I don't know, my it's like my heart rate is like increasing. Not out of fear, but like more of like
Like excitement.
whatever plan I had, like my goal in life. Whatever plan I had, it's starting now.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah. Oh, okay.
dude,
Yeah.
I wake up with claws now, like and sharp teeth. I'm just like it's starting now. I have to enact it right now. And I mean I'm
Yeah.
doing it right now. And I'm like, oh my god, that's the time. Like the time has come
Yeah.
where like
Like
I
if you're going to accomplish the things you want to accomplish before you die, now is the time to start.
yes,
Right? Like if you're
yeah,
ever gonna do it now.
yes. When like before I wanted to do this thing, but I did not have enough skill set to manifest it. And I
Yeah.
feel like I'm now in a place where I can like manifest it, but also this is the time. This is
Yes.
when I should start. And I'm just like, dude, every day I'm not even counting. Like I started to count like how many habits, like how many things I want to do every day, and I've stopped counting because I'm literally I when I came into Houston, I had this thing on my wall. I have things on my wall.
Yes.
You
Yes,
saw
I
this.
do. Yeah.
Yes.
Or like
And like
do three things every day that are like productive.
yes,
Stuff like
useful.
that. Hmm.
Yes. Like things to motivate me. One thing to motivate me at the time because I used to be the king of procrastination.
Hmm.
I was thinking about all these dreams I wanted to accomplish, and then I would just lay on my bed and do nothing. Or when I
Yeah.
would start doing them, I would just be like doing it slowly, and then, oh my god, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get some food. And then I
Hmm.
come into ID, and before I started even at the college, I wrote on my wall like to become a war machine.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, I have to become the person that can accomplish these dreams
Yeah, like
when I
totally
got
unstoppable. You're right.
yes, I have to become a literal machine
Yeah.
of like no procrastination, just do the thing, do the job.
Yeah, discipline, right?
Yeah, discipline. And again, I have a lot more way to do in terms of discipline, but wow, I feel like now I can take that off my wall because
Yes.
and now what I want to put on my wall now is like just two word next level.
Yeah. I feel like ID definitely, like, I'm happy that I went through, I'm happy that I'm committed to this now, and I've gone through the majority of it because now I can look back and I can see it definitely had a massive impact on uh, the opportunities I have to actually create things, right? Like,
Yeah,
it expanded my skill set way more than I ever thought it could. Um, and I've been able to leverage those skills in other things that I actually do care about way more than I ever thought I actually could.
yeah,
Um, and it's just really nice, because
mhm,
I feel like I've finally got the medium and the power I need to actually um, make the things I would like to make, you know.
yeah. I need one confirmation, and that's
Mhm.
where I envy you and Pedro. Is that
Uh,
you won something? Like you have experience winning. You have experience like this doing a work and getting it recognized on a stage, or like by people and being like, this is worthy of this.
I feel
What?
so bad because low key, that whole battle of the classes thing, I don't even think about it half the time. Like, it's so unimportant to me in so many ways.
That's good.
Like, to me, the only thing that mattered about that was the prize money that I got. And I was like,
Yeah,
cool, I think we talked about this where I didn't even feel like I earned it.
yeah, yeah.
Felt like it
Dude,
fell out of
actually,
the
dude,
sky.
like, dude, you should see. I mean, you should see yourself through every people's like view. I saw you coming like tired about that project. You were working on this, and like when you won, I was like, yes, he deserved it. I saw him working every day on that. Like, he's not lazy. He's
Yeah.
hard worker,
Well,
and
that's
like,
the thing. I think I don't feel particularly special with it because I see everyone else working in the same way that y'all see me working. And it's like, I'm not really putting in that much more effort than anyone else. And like on another day, someone else could have just as easily had a brilliant idea and been able to execute it or something like that, in a
yeah,
way that the judges liked. On another day, the judges might have ruled differently on one thing or another. I,
yeah,
but I guess that's why they hold the competition every year, right?
yeah.
Because
And
there's
again,
always another person with another
yeah,
idea, you know? And it's just a matter of when you find your time to be recognized by
yeah,
in some capacity for the things you've done, right?
yeah. I
So
love
like,
it because again, the two friends sitting beside me have been recognized. So I'm like, it's on that table.
yeah, and what? I think you have every right to be recognized, Cadmiel. Just like
Yeah.
having
No,
worked alongside you for as long as I have, I know that you're going to get that and it's not going to be impossibly hard for you or something.
I
Like,
would definitely say that you deserve it. Not because, again, you are superior to someone, but you deserve it as much as, you know, we
mm,
all do. And that's why you should feel proud of yourself because, yes, you are on that level too.
mm.
You deserve a prize. Like, that's why you should feel proud of yourself. You didn't steal it. Again, it's not a matter of being superior to anyone. It's more like being worthy of it, and you totally are.
I never really thought about it that way, but I think that makes me feel better about it in a weird
Yeah.
way. I don't think I felt bad about it, but I did feel like neutral.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that was because it was like, I had this feeling like, oh, anyone could have won this. Or like, um, you know, they just happened to end up choosing me because it could have been anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
On any other day. But I think that's a better way of putting it is like it's not that anyone could have done it or like you're exclusive or anything. It's more just saying um like hey, we recognize you. This is a good idea and it's worthy of consideration. Here's some money for it. Um Good job.
Yeah,
Good work.
yeah,
It's like a pat on the back, you know.
yeah.
But
Sometimes it
shoot,
also
man,
helps
like it's hard because I get that money and then I go into studio the next day and I see Sarah Wong like 3D printing an entire office chair because
oh,
she
that was
wants to
crazy.
see if it's going to work like for
Yeah,
her concepts. And it's like, dude, like these some of these other students I think are really like
dude,
I
Andrena has been popping off. She's
I
like,
would never sit down and 3D model that entire office chair. I'd be like, we gotta back up a sec, okay? Because you've given me like 2 weeks to
yeah,
design an entire office chair. Are you sure?
yeah.
I
Bro,
don't
this
know.
semester illustrated a lot of people. I feel like Andrena right now is popping off. She's like one of the best
Uh,
illustrators right now.
yeah, I would say she really kicked into gear. Yeah.
Yeah, her two latest projects were like great, like just great.
Hmm.
I think Estelle is also like in that spot. Haley, Pedro was always in that spot.
Yeah, Pedro was always in that spot, but I don't think. Well, he's in that spot now. I have a feeling a couple years ago when he was in studio, um, he probably would disagree with you.
Yeah, I
But
mean, he would definitely admit that his time away from studio got him to mature.
yeah.
I
Well,
think he
and
said,
also I think he's coming to studio with new energy and life, you
yeah,
know, like that I think maybe got kicked out of him back then, but I don't know. I don't know what happened to him back then, but
yeah, I'm curious
no,
to see who he was, right?
I would wager he's not the same like absolute kick butt ID machine that he is now, you know.
Yeah, I guess my question is, did Jeff love him that much before, or just when he came back?
Yeah. I'll bet he loved him that much when he came back.
Yeah, yeah.
Not before.
No, sir, it's okay. I'm not gonna wait on Jeff loves or anyone's love,
Yeah.
but
Jeff confuses me so much
he
in my
does, man.
experience because like sometimes he's like really sharp and to the point and like he wastes absolutely no time. Regardless of how you feel about something, he's like a machine in a way. and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
and then other times he's like kind of a softy and he's kind of expression he's full of expression and stuff, like he's holding the pumpkin with the
yeah,
face
yeah.
in October. And that just throws me off so bad. It's like this there's such a bizarre dichotomy between like business Jeff and like chill Jeff that
Yeah.
hits at the weirdest times.
I feel like to
I don't know
me,
what to make of
I
it.
mean, I agree with what you said. For me, it was again reading if I was doing a great job, a good job, or just a bad job. Sometimes it was hard to read
Yeah,
on his face.
kind of hard to read. Some because again, he's straight to the point. He'll just be like, "Okay, you need to do this." It's like, all right,
Really?
but
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah. No, I
Not
definitely.
important. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, man. Those six teachers, like, we only have the same teacher rotating. Like, I feel like they should ask us how we feel about them. They will get so much feedback because we got.
Would they really? Would they really get feedback? Would people be honest with them?
I mean, if again we felt like being honest with them wouldn't cost us anything, I feel like they will hear a lot of things repeat themselves, and be
I
like,
you know
"Oh,
I think they would.
yeah." We'll be like, "Oh, so that's how." I guess I think I see myself, but how it projects on people.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of them will hear the same rhetoric.
Mm. You know, I'll
That
tell you something.
what?
Well, sorry, did you
No,
have
go ahead, go ahead.
okay, well, just as much as like I have these individual like complications with the teachers like oh Jeff is kind of hard to read or things like that. I actually really appreciate every single one of them and I think they're very good at their jobs, like very good compared to the average university professor.
I
They're
agree with that.
they're exceptional.
Yeah,
Like I've been in other classes at university, like the coding classes or like organizational decision classes or whatever. I've been to those, and the professors, they just don't.
I mean, okay,
Yeah, they don't. They really don't. And like they pick favorites and they don't talk to you and they're kind of hard to deal with and
I
man, they're
agree
not
with you.
engaged. But you go to the ID program and all of them are sharp and on point. They're talking to all the students and addressing the whole class as a group, giving you the right feedback. And I think that something that kind of upset me was when we kind of on the onset of COVID or like the aftermath of COVID, we had a lot of students in our class making like petitions or getting all uppity uppity with the faculty for not doing enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that really irritated me
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think they were doing anything to show the faculty that they were actually appreciated in any regard.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like I get the idea that like okay, maybe there are some things you'd like to change. Or like I get the idea that maybe there are some things that are inconvenient for the students. Lord knows there are. But number one, they weren't doing anything to tell the faculty what they're doing right, and also again to give them that positive feedback that is really necessary.
yeah. Very important when you want,
But
especially people to listen to you.
yeah, but number two, they also when when they asked for something and the faculty denied it, there was no attempt to understand why that was denied from them. Like sometimes a faculty, I think, will deny the students things because they simply can't provide it. Like they don't have the budget or they don't have the people or it's just way too much of a hassle. They just can't do it, you know?
Yeah,
And I think sometimes it's like they don't really talk to the students about that a lot, but they probably don't talk to the students about that because it's it's a complicated matter,
yeah.
and on some occasions they're not even allowed to talk to the students about certain issues, like their budgetary
Oh
problems.
yes. Being
So
in student council, there are definitely things that, again, meetings that you are not allowed to be here. It's not for
yeah,
students to be there.
yeah, and that's what drives me mad is when I see like a student asks for something that's totally unreasonable. The faculty says, no, we can't do that. And then the student gets mad at them because they think the faculty is doing it just because they hate them. And it's like, no, it's not that the faculty hates you, it's that they just can't. And they can't even like talk to you about it because they're not
Yeah.
allowed, you know? Like
No.
they yeah, like the understanding of their limitations is so limited and
Yeah.
like
I mean,
small.
of my experience dealing with the administration, I always say that again, they are the one that understand the big pictures.
Yes.
They
Yes,
are
they are.
like more than us. Always like they are the one that knows all the factors that will play into our demands and things like that.
Yeah.
So I would never, I was never mad when I heard a no, for example. Especially, I mean, one thing again is to say no. The other thing is to assume that we are too dumb to understand. Like, if you can say, give us a reason, again, it makes things better to accept sometime.
Yeah.
Um, I'll also add to that unfortunately, sometime someone wouldn't make the change because they understand the big pictures, and because of that, it kind of you kind of like assume that it can only be that way,
Yes.
which is a
Yeah.
mistake again. Someone could fall into and think again that any change is unreasonable,
Hmm.
which again is shouldn't be that way because a system is never perfect. It
Yeah.
can only be improved. So again, it's a balance of that. So if again when I hear no, I'm always tempted to be like, okay, why?
Yeah.
And if you tell me why, I'm not gonna. Again, like if you understand the big picture, you know what factors come into that, and
Yeah.
most of the time, I always say like, I get it now. Like you're right to say no. Like it will involve like moving this piece and moving these pieces, and this is difficult. I understand
Yeah.
it. Sometimes it's difficult, but it's possible, and I would still say like still do it
Yeah.
because it will just better everything. But
Yeah.
what I don't want to hear is in that case is like someone that's like, well, I don't want to better things. Things are perfect.
Or like, okay, here's the thing. We're not even asking them necessarily to do it immediately, right?
Yes.
Like, if it's a really hard thing to implement, you can just say, this is something we'd like to keep in mind all the time and try to build towards slowly over the course of the next few years so that hopefully we can get there someday, you know? And, but again, it's like, I think that just on a student level, speaking as a student, talking to the other students, I really think there's a lot of people in my social circles that really lacked an understanding or uh, sympathy for those higher level decisions and considerations that had to go on.
Yeah.
And where honestly, they're acting kind of childish, because it's like they, I felt like there are a lot of people that just had zero empathy for the
I think it's
faculty
a
at
lack
all.
of humility. Like people want to be heard,
Hmm.
and I think like that's when humility comes into play. Like coming with a mindset of I don't know what you know,
Yeah.
and you have to tell me. Unless you tell me I don't know, I won't assume that I know what you know.
Yeah.
And again, it's probably a position that you studied for. Like I'm never gonna go in with financing on with college and give them advice on how to manage your money. Some people have studied for that. Like they understand how to do all these things work. How could I just come and pretend that, hey, I'm gonna tell you something you never heard before?
Yeah.
Like you have to, even if you want to speak to them, you have to come with that mindset of like, I am the least knowledgeable person in this
Yeah.
room,
Yeah.
but this is how I feel.
Yeah, exactly. Like, voice your opinions, but do it in an informed and respectful way. Like, know your audience. Your audience isn't the same as you, where they're a bunch of dumb students that don't know what's going on or are mismanaging the entire university situation. Like, these are these are staff. They have more information. They have more access. They have more money. Talk
Yeah,
to them and like recognize that you are not there, right?
yeah.
But
I, I mean, being again in the student council chair this year, I can. I've walked into a lot of situations where administration needed our help, and I kind of walked into a mess.
mm,
And it wasn't again that, like, part of me feels that they have so much to deal with, but they kind of assume we cannot help them
yeah,
or that we are not smart enough. I don't know how they
yeah, or
feel,
like
but
we can't organize or something
yeah,
to actually be useful in any way.
yes.
Yeah,
But in most of those situations I walked into, I was like, had you had us like doing it from the beginning, the very beginning,
yeah,
we could have allocated time. Like we have more time to allocate to that than you, especially during the summer.
yeah,
We could have. helped you a long way. And like, because we know that you are dealing, like, you are working every day, even in the summer, a lot of administration, like, it's still going on.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of things to manage. And like, on top of that, if you have other jobs to do, well, maybe you should call the students and be like,
Yeah.
well, this is all you want. Give us instruction and let us do it. Because again, if someone says they have time for it, like, it can only benefit everybody. But
Hmm.
that's how I want to do it this year. But
Yeah.
no, man. I
You're
must say,
oh, what?
concerning the teacher, I can recall
Oh,
they are exceptional teacher. I
yeah.
can recall a time where like this teacher have wowed me. Like, I was impressed by what they did, the work, or like some of the feedback. I can also recall time where I was like, you can see the flaws because they are humans.
Yes.
I can also see like times where this teacher have maybe made me sad or broke me, or like being very unnecessary. Like, I can recall, dude, I have a little grudge for every single one of them, but at the same time, I'm like, I can recall a time where like I did a work, an amazing work in their class, and I was like, it could have not been done without them.
Yeah.
Like, they taught me how to do that, and I look at that work and I'm like, I am so impressed by what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Or if you just think about the kinds of things you've been able to do because they taught you how,
it's insane. It
it's
is insane.
there's a lot of stuff there
Yes,
that
that's
can't
why I'm
just
like,
be dismissed or blown off.
that's why, like, I say, like, I look at my 5 year anniversary. I could not have expected to be that skilled. Like, the level of skills I have right now
Yes.
is it's insane, and
Yeah.
like, it's because of them. And like, I feel like for every time I would criticize them, I would never. I would also give them this. I'm here because of you. Like,
Yeah.
I will always recognize that you taught me that. Like, you have you are good. You are a great teacher.
Yeah.
You're not perfect. You are great, but you're not perfect.
Yes. Yes. True.
That's how I see it, at least. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
No, that's a good way to see it.
Yeah.
Sidebar. You
What?
remember the studio design charette?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, uh, following a lot of these complaints to the university decided that on the first week of, I think it was the first week, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, first week
Dude.
of, I think fall semester, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, fall
No,
semester,
it was a spring. It was this semester.
spring semester. They would basically take the entire College of
Sweet.
Architecture and Design and have
Yeah.
every single class brainstorm on what they wanted to do to make the arc like COAD, the College of Architecture and Design building better, or like make the experience better, make the faculty student relations situation better. And I don't know about you, but my experience with that was it felt very rushed, and like they gave me like they gave us something like 20 minutes to like sketch out our concepts, and it's like we did not have enough time to
Yeah.
throw that together, right? I barely had enough time to get everything just on paper,
Yeah.
and then we had to format it into like a power, or not a PowerPoint, it was a, like, I think a InDesign document.
Yeah. I
And we had
remember.
even less time for that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then supposedly they put all those things from every single class, all these rushed documents, they slammed them together into a book, and they had a big old meeting about it where they went through the entire book and were just like, oh, what should we do? But I would pay so much money to have a copy of that book. Just like,
I
it's
can tell
so
you that when I was talking into like the college, rigging the student console into a mess. That's one of them because we were invited in this meeting to craft the charette, essentially.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Before the semester, and I have to say, I was like, gosh, like, this is not ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything about it was like it was a good first try,
Yeah, I
but
call it the first try if you want. I was
but
just like,
but it went really bad,
I
honestly.
was
Like
like,
there were not a lot of very good ideas generated that day.
I was, I mean, I have to say, I was like, we're not gonna get really what we want from that.
No.
And
No way.
it's gonna be an experience that a lot of students are gonna look back and be like, what the heck was that?
Yeah, I still have the documents that I generated for it. They're so bad. They're so astronomically bad.
And that's again the situation I was like, had if it from the beginning, from the very inception of it, if we were there to kind of set again, like we had access to students, like I feel like us talking, asking to students, we are more likely to answer than administration itself. So I was like, it could have, you could have had more people giving you feedback on how this thing could have gone.
Yeah, or like here's a thought. Imagine if it had been a year-long thing, so studios could kind of work on what they want to submit for that at any point in the year, whatever was convenient. And then at the
Yeah,
end of the year, you take all that stuff, smash it together, throw a book out, right? But instead, they gave us 1 week, and it was like, you have to do it this week. And even in that 1 week, we only had like 3 days where we were actually briefed to like, okay, get started now. And we spent like 2 days just brainstorming, but they were like, don't write anything down yet, don't draw anything, don't do anything yet, just talk.
I
And then finally they gave us like 20 minutes to actually take these like hundreds of ideas and communicate them somehow in like 20 minutes. Just throw everything together, get it all written down, draw pictures, whatever.
I
And
was
it was
so
supposed to be in a standardized format, and it wasn't. It was really busted and wrong.
I was so happy I missed that
Gosh.
week of school.
Huh?
I'm so happy I missed that week of
Dude,
school.
I was there. It was chaos. Like
Yes,
total
I
chaos.
heard that. Every day my friend like we're texting in group chats and we're like, what is this? I heard the first video call was like a mess.
Yes, everyone there was like, "What are we doing? Like this is so wrong. It's so not right."
I heard some people were mad at the dean during the call
Yeah.
and you were just
Yep. Yep.
oh my gosh. I was like, thank God. Like I did not need that stress in my
It
life.
was so bad.
I did not need to witness that. I would just hang up the call. I'll just be like, listen, I can't. I hate. Again, I think there is a place for protesting.
Yeah, that was a bad like I think what I see what the college was trying to do about giving the students more of a voice and seeing what they actually want, and like maybe we can implement some of that. But like that was not the way to do it, man. I don't think the
So
students
funny.
voiced anything they wanted to say right.
Yep. It's bro. I'll try. I don't know. I'll do my best with Stuco, student console.
Yeah, you're probably our only actual connection to the faculty in any way.
Yeah, trying to be the voice. And again, like I feel like it's a position of like politic. You're not
Mm.
here to voice what you feel. Like it, you are to be the voice of the students,
Yeah.
how the students feel. So how do you gather that, like how the students are feeling, and like translate that to the administration, and again defend them on the stage, right? In a sense.
Mhm.
Although, but I mean, I don't know when the semester is gonna start. We'll see. But I feel like
Yeah,
it's gonna be a learning experience for me, like in terms of again what I want to accomplish in my life, and being in this leader. I feel like that's the first time in America that I'm in a leadership position like that.
yeah. I think you're doing good. I would trust you in a leadership position.
I know I'm calm. I don't know if people
Yeah,
like it or no, but
yeah, you're reasonable.
I try. I definitely try
Yeah,
to understand again.
reasonable and ethical and fairly unbiased, kind of. Not really.
I'm definitely like someone is bad when they prove it. Like you are not bad until proven otherwise.
Yeah,
Until you prove otherwise, you are not evil until you prove otherwise. So I
yeah,
really try to come in this meeting with an attitude of like, I don't know you, but by the end of the meeting, I would know you.
yeah. Definitely, I'm also one to give people redemption opportunities.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like if you're bad once, well, everyone's bad once, right?
yeah, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think we're all proud of every seconds of our lives, every choices we made. So
Mhm.
again, not being like again like that's something about the way people argue today which is detrimental to debating, which
Mm,
is like you are trying to come on top at the end of a debate.
yeah.
Like you're trying to, again, it's not a matter of being right only, it's a matter of like showing that you were smarter or like coming on top of a person. Like at the end of a debate, I have to be here, be seen as like the righteous one, and this person has to be the one that was wrong,
Mm,
which I don't think that being right should always come at that cost. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I can convince someone of something without them feeling bad or like feeling that they are a bad, a evil person.
Yeah.
That's not the goal. It's just saying that you're not evil for being wrong.
Yeah. I think it's kind of hard to get yourself to find, well, to suppress the happiness you would get out of putting someone down.
Yes, I'm
Like,
competitive.
I,
I am
yeah.
very,
Or like, I think deep down, everyone has something a little bit dark, kind of evil inside of them that derives some joy from uh, making someone else feel like a piece of garbage.
yeah,
Right? Because it's like, okay, that makes you feel better
yeah,
if other people look worse by comparison, And it, again, I think if you're particularly uh, insecure about something, it becomes a lot easier to put people down in that area of your
yeah,
insecurity.
yeah. You know, I was thinking about it. Like the way I'm very competitive, as you know.
Yeah.
And 18 years old Kadmiel, the one that came in the US, when, for example, he would see, like, for example, his friends succeeding, like Nicolas succeeding and
Hmm.
like Pedro succeeding, I
Yeah.
would be jealous of that before. I would have looked at that and be like, feel like that was something that was taken away from me
Yeah.
for some reason. Like something that should have been mine, but
Yeah.
they took it from me.
Or like that was an opportunity for me to
Yes.
win and shine and
Yes.
get
And like,
recognized.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, and again, some people might say overwhelmed, but listening to the Joe Rogan experience kind of changed my mind about it.
Shoot, man. Maybe I should listen to that more because you do talk about it a lot.
Yes, because like the way he was again talking about how this podcast like succeeded, he was like again like before like when because Joe Rogan is like a comedian and like before his podcast was a thing, comedian will only get the contract from cable TV.
Mm,
So it was like the opportunities to succeed were like small, like tiny, and
yeah.
you felt like you had to fight for it. So when somebody succeeded, you were like, that was something that was taken away from me. And
Yes.
he said like when he started this podcast, having another comedian on the podcast and being brilliant was not only good for him, but for everybody.
Hmm.
And like it created a lot of opportunities for everybody. Like you had something to gain in your friend succeeding.
Yeah.
And that actually changed my mind. I was like, oh my God, like I'm not a loser when Nicholas is winning.
Yeah.
I'm not a loser when like another of my friend is winning. I'm actually winning from that.
Mhm.
Like that only proves that not only I'm hanging out with the right crowd in a sense, but also again when I was saying that it's happening maybe on this table, like my
Yeah.
turn will come. Like that gives me hope now.
Yeah. And
I'm like,
I think you raise a really good point that these are the kinds of people that won't forget you, you know, and like if they see you down, they'll help
yes,
you get up to the
yes,
place that they're at, you know. Like we're all on the same team here, you know.
yes. And like there is not a lack. I feel like when we were doing the firm tours and everything, we were under the impression again like ID is like there is a lack of pulse, like there is not enough job for everyone
Yeah.
and you have to fight for it. So why like again in the summer I was again tempted to be kind of jealous or resentful because I did not have an internship.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, everybody got one and I don't have one. And like therefore that means I it was taken from me or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, actually, is this bad that everybody got an internship? I feel like that's a good news. That
Yeah.
means that I can get one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means there is opportunities. And
Yeah.
again, like again, the America definitely is a culture of like there is not enough spot for everybody.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's like it again encourage you to like fight for it. You
Yeah.
have to take it from someone.
Or like
You have
it's very tempting to try to cut people down
it
so they
is, it
can't
is.
threaten you, right?
Yes. And again, this mentality of coming out on top on
Yeah.
everything. Like it does everything you do, you have to come up to you have to look like the victor. You have to look like you gain something in front of everyone. And
Mm.
I mean, I changed my mind about it. Now I put all my competitiveness in sport, like because it has to go somewhere. I cannot
Yeah.
not be competitive.
Yeah.
And you see it sometime in ID. Like when I'm in a project, I feel competitive all the time. But I mainly put it in sport and it's bad because a team loses and I go on Instagram and rant.
Yeah, I'm scared of your competitiveness, man. Like I felt the full fury of that watching your posts on some of the basketball game
Yeah.
uh
You know what? That's
conclusions.
a good thing because that means it's not coming your way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it's also terrifying because it's like, oh gosh, that could come my way.
Oh my
You
god,
know?
yeah. You know Michael Jordan, right? The
Yeah.
basketball player?
Hang
He's
on,
so competitive and
real
what?
quick. Could we
Yeah.
take a break? Because I need to hit the restroom. You see
Okay.
me drinking like water and apple juice like all
Oh
morning.
yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Okay.
And this is our ad break. This podcast is brought to you by Nobody. Nobody is a company that makes detergent for like your hands and like your floor and your cleaning everything, man. Don't exist, but we support them. Anyway, guys, I hope you also. I mean, I don't say it enough, but I also hope you share it this episode someday. I don't know, like support a friend. I want this podcast and my dreams to be economically viable, but that one really means a lot if you do so. If you don't, I hope you listen to this episode and love the next one. But yeah. Also, like, if you have theme, like things you want to talk about that are not the overturning out of Roe v. Wade, but something, please Don't send us like controversial subject, but anything, just let us know. And we are back.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking to a crowd, man, to our
Oh.
listeners. You thought I would stay silent?
I thought you'd like pause the recording or something.
I wouldn't do it. I
I just,
mean,
oh man, I was walking back to my computer, and you know how I listen to our recordings through earbuds, but I could hear a little like I could hear your voice just kind of barely audibly coming through the earbuds, and I was like, "What? Who is he talking to? What is going on?"
you can definitely re-listen to the podcast. I'm not gonna cut it out. So
Okay, okay. I probably won't go back and listen to that
yeah,
because
but listen, there could be a day where like I cannot record and like you can record a solo episode.
oh yeah, I'll have to think about that because like I'm usually not a very good one man entertainer
I feel like you would.
unless I'm prepared. But
Yeah, you have some kind of again preparation, but again you think about the subject before talking. But I
yeah,
feel like you are good at developing something,
yeah,
like
yeah.
elaborating your points.
Mhm.
So I can see you do that if you know you just prepare a theme or like something or give your opinion about something, and you I can see you elaborating your point.
Yeah, I feel like I'm very prone to droning on and on and on, or like rephrasing the same thing like three times,
Yeah.
and that's kind of scary. That's why I need to prep for these kinds of things because it's like if I don't prep, I'm going to be like, it's kind of like this, and then I'll stop and I'll pause for like 2 minutes straight of just total silence, and then I'll
Oh
be
my
like,
god, yo.
actually, it's not like that. It's like this. Yeah, that's more like it. And then I'll
that's
pause for another 2 minutes and then be like, oh no, I got it now. It's gonna be so agonizing just to
that's
listen
like
to me
listening
like,
to a podcast with Elon Musk.
yeah,
Elon Musk will mark like you, and again, like he's asked like tough questions. They will be like, "Where do you see life evolving like in the next 50 years?"
ooh.
And you're listening to a podcast, and all of a sudden there's 45 minutes of silence.
Yes.
No, 45 seconds of silence. My bad. And
Yeah.
you just like at some point, like you just like, did it pause? Like, am I listening to a
Yeah.
thing? If there is a video version, it's just him like sitting and thinking about it, like computing everything in his mind.
Yeah.
And for it's bad for podcasting because 45 seconds of silence, the listener is like, is everything working right now?
Yeah. I know that my girlfriend used to hate me for not speaking up like that. Like what she'd do is like she'd ask me a question and then I'd pause and I'd think about it for like 30 seconds and I'd be totally silent and she'd be waiting there like in agony waiting for a response because maybe it's like a really tense question or
Yeah.
something.
Dude, the worst is when someone start answering the question for 5 seconds and then they pause to
Yes,
think.
I do that. I do that so much. Like I'll start answering, I'll be like, and I'll choose my words really carefully, and like maybe it'll like slow down where I'm trying to figure out what the next word is, and then they'll like stop cold again. There'll be another 30 seconds of silence before I pick it up again.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. You know, I wish I had some of that because me, when I like to fill the void. And
Yeah.
often it would just be like me repeating myself or saying something completely useless.
Yeah. I really enjoy when people like clearly are choosing their words carefully too. And there's like,
Yes,
hang on.
but I can definitely like think of word as I'm talking and like as like word come to me immediately, which is bad sometimes because you'll be like saying something you didn't mean to.
Mhm.
And like if had you given more thought to it, it would have come a better way.
Yeah.
I've re-listened to some of my episodes and I've been like, why did I say it that way? Or like it comes the wrong way. Like I remember an
Yeah.
episode I was giving an advice to May, and I'm like, that's not what I don't think we were on the same page. I don't think I was really answering her questions. And when
Yeah,
I re-listened to that, I was like, I see what she meant now. And like maybe had I given more thoughts to it. Or like maybe have I had stopped and like rethink. But again, that's something when you think you get something, you don't question it anymore. You just like,
yeah.
okay, get it. But yeah. So yeah, I think it's 1 hour and it's already 11 and I'm waiting for my friends to come anytime soon.
Okay.
That should be a
Yeah.
short episode.
Yeah, honestly, it would probably behoove us to make shorter podcast episodes.
No, it should be 2 hours and 30 minutes. But today is I guess, a day I had something else. But next week,
Yeah. You know
we'll
what
have
we could
this.
always do is in the future we take all our old like 2 to 4 hour podcast episodes and chop them into like 10-minute pieces. So then we have like 600 episodes and everyone thinks that we record all the time.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I I
It,
want
it,
again.
it would not work at all.
I know, but I also enjoy the activity of recording new episode, and I feel like
Yes.
right now it looks like we are not learning anything, or like it seems like just a hobby.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like, for example, speech, we are developing that. At least for me,
Yeah.
it's big. Like to be able to like talk like that.
Yeah.
It
Or like
teaches me,
just like a public speech, you know?
yes, public speech, and again, the re-listening to that and thinking of better way to improve, for example, my voice or the way I sound, or like how to listen to
Yeah.
the person I'm talking to and understand what they mean. I'm learning all of that, and so I
Yeah.
don't think we are. I'm doing something useless.
Oh yeah, I'm learning a lot about how to become less agonizing as a
Let's talk about
social being.
wow. I
Yeah.
hope I have something a little to do with that.
Yeah, you do. You do. Mhm. We can
I'm
learn
learning.
together.
I'm learning how to not to enjoy things other than the activities I do.
Mm.
But yeah, you teach me a lot, man, about just other ways.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. I wouldn't have
Again, I
thought I
was
did.
saying. Yeah, again, I was saying that the way you see the world genuinely interests me because I will see the world a certain way, and I will talk to you, and sometimes you just bring show me a blind spot I had, or like a way of interpreting things I did not know,
Well,
or
I'll
like
tell you, it goes both ways. So
also,
rest assured that it's not one-sided.
yeah, man. All right, I guess we do it next week
Aye,
on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Also, okay, this is what's going on next week. Maybe I'm in
Uh-huh.
the Ivory Coast.
Ooh. Oh, that'll be fun. Oh, I can't wait. Will we have a guest star for that?
No, I absolutely don't know what to expect when I'm going there.
Okay, okay.
I have no idea who's picking me up. I'll let you know as it goes, but like
All
how
right,
next,
dude.
but next episode might be different.
Yeah, I am super looking forward to it.
Okay, all right, man. Everybody, stay humble, and we'll see
Yeah,
you.
stay humble.